Why don't you just lay down, get some rest, and take your mind off?
I still cannot believe that he looked us straight in the eye and denied sending me.
Shane Holliday in the First Alert Storm Center. We are breaking into programming as we have a tornado warning that has just been issued for south central portions of Barron County. This goes until 2 p.m. Again, that's a tornado warning. It is basically for the area within that red polygon that you see between Glasgow and Roseville. It takes in Bristoltown. The warning also takes in the Temple Hill community, as there has been strong rotation noted by Doppler weather radar about a few miles east of Glasgow. That's moving east at about 25 miles an hour. So again, a possible tornado there. Radar indicated right now. We don't know of anything on the ground, but nevertheless, a tornado warning for this area of Barron County just south of Glasgow until 2 p.m. I'm going to show you what's going on here with Doppler Max. We have that whole cluster of thunderstorms, the same one that moved through Bowling Green a short time ago. It also has severe thunderstorm warnings with it that extend from Glasgow down into Allen County. But what we're most concerned about here is the rotation we were noting on velocity just south of Glasgow. There it is. And what you see here, you have the green, that is indication of wind blowing toward the National Weather Service Doppler site. This one out of Nashville. Meanwhile, red would be wind blowing away from the site. So it's right in this area near Bristoltown, just a few miles south of Glasgow, where we are noting some decent rotation out of this thunderstorm, the kind that could drop at least a brief, maybe even rain-wrapped tornado. And so that issue is going to be there for you, not just in Bristoltown the next few minutes or so, but also Roseville, just a couple of miles south of there, right on the edge of where that polygon is, and then extending a little bit farther to the south and east toward Temple Hill. Temple Hill, you're also in the tornado warned area. Now, if you live in Glasgow, you're a few miles north of where the rotation center is. I'm going to loop this for you here and see how this has been developing over the last few minutes. Glasgow, you're okay. You're a little bit north of where the rotation center is, and that is working to the east-southeast toward Temple Hill, basically a little bit south of Highway 90. I'm going to go in here a little bit tighter so we pick up a few more streets and highways in this area. Again, there's Bristoltown. You have Kentucky 249 there running between Bristoltown and Roseville. The rotation is very close to those two communities. And then there's Temple Hill a little bit farther to the south and to the east along Kentucky 63. You have the fairgrounds area. If I'm not mistaken, the Barron County Fair is going on this week. So hopefully there are no people out there in the fairgrounds right now, because that is another area that's under the gun at the moment. And then a little bit farther to the east, technically not in the polygon right now, but you do have the 88 community, which is right along Highway 90, and one of the more prominent communities there in eastern Barron County. You're just a little bit out of where the polygon is. I'll throw that back on for you there. There again is that tornado warned area. So if you're watching an 88, you still need to be aware certainly what's going on there. But most concerned right now between Bristoltown and Temple Hill, that would be where the strongest rotation is noted right now. Look at all the lightning with this thunderstorm activity here across southern Barron County. We'll put this into motion. And again, you can see this beginning to work away from Glasgow. So I'm not concerned about Glasgow right now. In fact, things should be clearing up there in their downtown area as we speak. You're not in the tornado warned area in Glasgow, but you are in Bristoltown, down to Roseville, and also Temple Hill. And then over Barron River Lake, the lake itself not in the tornado warned area, but is in a severe thunderstorm warning area at this time that extends down into Allen County in the northeastern portion of the county there around Cedar Springs, which is basically on the western shores of Barron River Lake. As we are getting some new tornado warning information, it looks like Allen County and all until 2 p.m. to go with Barron County. So a new tornado warning that will be extended farther to the south and east, basically, taking in portions of Allen County and now Monroe County until the top of the hour at 2, as a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is now located 9 miles northeast of Scottsville and is moving southeast. So let's get our bearings here. I'll show you the new warning. And there it is. That has just popped up on the screen. Some of the communities involved here would be Peter Creek, that is in southern Barron County. You have Austin, you have Tracy in that area, and then all the way down to Fountain Run. So we're talking the northwestern sliver of Monroe County in on that new polygon that just popped up there. That's a new tornado warning. And you'll note that this is actually separate from the current tornado warning in south central Barron counties. We have two separate cells we're watching here, which have two separate areas of rotation. So let's go back into reflectivity and see what we note here. Again, we're watching the one area around Bristoltown between there and Temple Hill. We're going to go back to velocity scope. And yeah, there it is. It's still very evident on radar. Some twisting motion going on here, gate-to-gate shear between Roseville and Temple Hill. Right here would be one spot of concern. And panning our way south and west, another spot of concern. And actually, this, I have to say, looks a little stronger here on velocity scope. The rotation that we're noting near the Austin community right now. And there's Maynard not too far away. That's down in Allen County. You have Highway 98 there. That's Brownsboro Road, moving away from Barron River Lake. So if there is a tornado involved with this one right now, it could be right over the southern shores of Barron River Lake and very close to, if not right over, the community of Austin, as that rotation center looks pretty pronounced there around Austin and just a few miles away from the Tracy community, also in southern Barron County. And then working our way, I'm going to pan a little bit farther to the south to get more Monroe County in the picture. We mentioned Fountain Run. Also the Lamb community that's in northwestern Monroe County in on the tornado warning as well. So if you live in Austin, if you live in Tracy, if you live down toward Fountain Run, and even if you live over in Maynard, just a couple of miles southwest of where that rotation center is strongest, seek shelter immediately as you are under a tornado warning now. Basically, the southern one half of Barron River Lake would be most at risk for a possible tornado. Again, we don't know of anything on the ground. We continue to check with the folks in the National Weather Service, spotters as well, for anything that could be touching the ground here right now. We don't have any reports of that. It's all radar indicated, but the radar indications are pretty strong here in a couple of instances. One near the Austin community in southern Barron County, right on the southeastern shores of Barron River Lake, and then another one up here a little farther to the northeast. Still an indication of pretty good rotation there, just now east of Roseville and very close to Temple Hill. So those are the communities most at risk. Again, everything here is going on south of Glasgow, and I'll put Scottsville into view here for you here. Scottsville, everything is a little bit to your north and east right now. You're not under the tornado warning there in Scottsville, nor are you in Glasgow. It's all between you right now, basically along 31E and a little bit east of there. I'm going to show you once again the reflectivity scans. This is the cluster of thunderstorms that rolled through Bowling Green with blinding downpours a little while ago. And that's another concern, is if we get a tornado spinning up here, it could very well be rain-wrapped and will be very hard to spot. So that's something to keep in mind, and that's why I stress that if you live a few miles away from this in Fountain Run or Lamb down in Monroe County and it's dropping to the southeast, you certainly need to be in a place of safety right now, as tornadoes can spin up very rapidly in situations like we've had with these multi-cell clusters over the last couple of days, like in Ohio County, McHenry, for instance, back on Monday. And then the tornado warning we had last night, while nothing was confirmed out of that, we did have a funnel cloud up there in Butler County. And it's one of those things that when these situations occur, these tornadoes can drop maybe just a moment or two. They could be rain-wrapped, and then boom, they lift back up. But of course, in the time that they're on the ground, even for just a minute, they can produce significant, very severe damage. So that's the big concern here over southern Barron County. Going to go back in a little bit tighter here. And again, Austin, Tracy, Cooktown. We're watching this area. Pretty good inflow on this portion of the thunderstorm cluster right now. So I'm very concerned about this area around Austin and Tracy at the moment. And then a little farther to the north and the east around Temple Hill up toward 88 is another spot of concern. Chris Allen's with me here in the Weather Center. Any reports?
That's just an update on that current tornado warning, Shane, that's occurring until 2 p.m. Portions of, we've got northeastern Allen County, parts of southeastern Barron, and the northern part of Monroe County. So that is where we're currently seeing all that information. As a matter of fact, let me get the exact bearings on that particular storm. Just so you know, the bearings: northwestern Monroe, east central Allen, and southeastern Barron until 2 p.m. The original cell that you were talking about was located about 9 miles northeast of Scottsbluff, but these are moving at a pretty good clip at 35 miles per hour to the southeast. And so if you're in Monroe County, just a little bit north and west of, say, Tompkinsville, Fountain Run, those areas, down toward Browns Ford, you need to be seeking shelter immediately because that cell is headed your direction.
And another update here, and this is good news for those of you watching up in the Bristoltown, Roseville, Temple Hill area. That tornado warning for south central Barron County, not the one in the southern part of the county, but the first one that was issued a little while ago, has been canceled as the rotation there looks weaker now. We're now more concerned about the rotation we're seeing close to the Austin and Tracy vicinities of southern Barron County. So I'm going to put the reflectivity back on for you here. Again, this is Doppler Max HD. We're looking at the tornado warned area of far southern Barron County. And Chris just mentioned that if you're in northeastern Allen County, you certainly need to be in a place of safety right now because this is just time from you where the strongest rotation is. And it's very close to Austin and Tracy right now. In fact, I would put it right over the Tracy community at this point. We'll look at a new velocity scan here for you, and I'm still concerned about that bright red we're seeing right here on the southern part of Barron County, right in this area. That's where the rotation looks to be strongest. So we're looking just a little bit east of Barron River Lake, which is that body of water you see running down there that separates Allen and Barron County. And then north of Fountain Run, and we're talking no more than just a couple of miles north of Fountain Run at this point. So if you live in Fountain Run, if you live in Lamb in northwestern Monroe County, you need to be in a basement, or if not a basement, then the lowest level of your home, as many walls between yourself and the outside world that you could possibly find, as this is moving pretty rapidly to the south and to the east. The rotation center to me looks to be very close to Highway 87 right now, between Tracy and Fountain Run. And then just a little bit farther east of there is the Lamb community. That would be here. Get a new update here from the National Weather Service, continuing the severe thunderstorm warning also outside of the tornado warning for southern parts of Barron County until the top of the hour at 2. So again, the tornado warning also in effect till the top of the hour. Severe thunderstorm warning outside of that in effect for southern Barron County until 2. But again, our biggest concern right now is the rotation that looks to be very close to Tracy, maybe a little south of there now, between Tracy, Fountain Run, and then Lamb not too far away. That's in Monroe County, just to the south and to the east. I'm going to adjust the view here to get Tompkinsville and also Gamale, the two more prominent communities out in Monroe County, back into view as we get new sweep data here. Again, our main concern now is the versus outbound now beginning to roll southeast of Tracy. It looks to be moving into northwestern Monroe County, although it's not quite there yet. You see that bright red there near the center of your screen. That's going to arrive in the Lamb community in the next little bit. And, of course, keep in mind that even outside the tornado threat here, there's a threat for some strong, gusty, straight-line winds that could down some trees in western Monroe County around Mount Herman, Jeffrey, Flippin. And then if this holds together, we'll have to see how you fare around Gamale and Tompkinsville. Those communities not in the tornado warning, though. It's to your north and west right now for Fountain Run and also Lamb. Those are the areas we're most concerned about. And then over in Allen County, Maynard, looks like the rotation center is passing just a little bit to your east right now in the Maynard and also Walnut Hill communities on the other side of Barron River Lake. That's Highway 98, but you still need to be in a safe spot there in northeastern Allen County, bordering Barron County. Again, Scottsville, if you're watching down there, you're okay in that vicinity at the moment. I'm going to go back to what it looks like here on reflectivity on Doppler Max HD. It's basically one whole Acreton and breeding in Adair and Cumberland County, westward through Metcalfe County. No warning for Metcalfe right now, but some heavy rain around Summer Shade, lots of lightning there. And look at all the electrical activity involved with this storm over southern Barron County. That in its own right will make you want to stay inside and away from windows, but you certainly need to be doing that in the tornado warning. Rolled through Bowling Green, produced a wind gust of 54 miles an hour at the Mesonet site on the WKU farm a short while ago. So they mean business as they track to the south into the east, and some localized flooding too. The rainfall rates just incredible, especially where you see the red shaded areas here, upwards of 2 inches per hour. So that's blinding downpours. And Chris, that's why I mentioned that a tornado is going to be very hard to find here. It's probably going to be rain wrapped in a situation like this.
That's been the case too over the last couple of days, is that a lot of these storms have been rain wrapped, but there have been a few people that have seen actual funnels. In fact, there was a funnel cloud that was sighted in the of Pig, which is up near the Edmonson County, the Nolan River Lake area. And that was the case about an hour ago as we were tracking some of those earlier storms.
New severe thunderstorm warnings going into effect now for eastern Allen County, all of Monroe, the southwestern corner of Metcalfe and Barron County until 2:30. And you can see that polygon that just came up there. That's the yellow one surrounding the tornado warning. You're still in the tornado warning in Tracy, in southern Barron County, down to Fountain Run in Monroe County. And okay, there you go. And you get a better look at the polygon there. That's until 2:30. The new severe southwestern Metcalfe, all of Monroe, southwestern Cumberland, and the easternmost portion of Allen County. So we mentioned that outside the tornado threat here, you also have the possibility for seeing wind gusts to 60 miles an hour, and that will raise concern for downed trees, down partial damage.
Hey, I want to let everybody know that Kelly McKay at Nash Icon 103.7 is simulcasting our coverage right now. So if you're in those areas, if you're in the Nash Icon listening area, 103.7, it's on your radio. That way you don't have to stay in front of your TV. If you'd like to get to a shelter, that's going to be a little bit safer for you, so you can take that and listen to us, our audio at the same time. Shane?
Okay, good deal. And we thank the folks over there, our Commonwealth Broadcasting partners at Nash Icon and the other stations for doing that. Again, it's the southern part of Barron, the tornado warning area for another few minutes until the top of the hour officially at 2 o'clock. We're to 1:55 now. And the area of concern will be crossing out of Barron County shortly and into northwestern Monroe County. I'm going to stop the imagery here. We'll go back into velocity scope that allows us to look inside these thunderstorms at the wind profile and see how the winds are behaving here. And we still note an area of the green against the red, inbound versus outbound, that would be right in this vicinity of far southern Barron County, close to Fountain Run, and also close to the Lamb community. The rotation is not quite as discernible as it was a little while ago, but there's still at least some broad rotation going on here based on what we're looking at velocity. Again, that's right at the confluence of Barron, Monroe, and Allen counties. So Fountain Run still need to be in a safe spot right now. Same goes for you in the Lamb community. Flippin, Jeffrey, just a few miles down the road in Monroe County. You also need to be in a safe space right now, as that's about the cutoff point for the tornado warned area. Tompkinsville, you're out of this right now, but we are keeping an eye on this for you to see downstream, in other words, farther to the south and southeast of the one we have going on currently that takes in southern Barron and also Monroe County. Conferring with the National Weather Service on that right now. Yeah, Chris?
Yeah, I was going to say, I was just noticing here to the south of that warned area, we're watching these storms that are popping up. Let me put this into motion. Let me look at the last hour here and switch over to animated radar. Notice here, Shane, that while these storms to the north of us are pushing southeast, look at these right here, which are just blown up, and they're going to merge with that entire line of strong storms that are coming out of Tennessee, out of Lafayette. That would be Clay, Macon County, in that area, then Red Boiling Springs. So those have just now popped up, but it looks like those two systems are going to try to merge right there over the state line. And sometimes when that happens, that calls for, or sometimes lends itself to an intensification of that. In fact, we're now getting a updated, no, this is the update on the tornado warning.
Looks like the Weather Service is going to let that tornado warning expire, Chris, now for Northeast Allen, Southern Barron, Northwestern Monroe. The rotation center appears to be falling apart just a little bit. We'll wait it out here for just a couple more minutes. We've had no report of anything on the ground at this point. That's good news.
Yeah.
But we will wait it out here for another moment or two. Again, aside from that tornado warning, keep in mind, in Tompkinsville, Gamale, and the rest of Monroe County, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning until 2:30, and we're still in the kind of environment where these rotation centers within the storm cluster could spin up very quickly, so we don't want to write off a tornado threat completely here yet, even though this warning is about to come down. The tornado warning, that is, for Southern Barron, Northwest Monroe, and there for you in Monroe County, and also the threat for straight line winds to 60 miles an hour that could be quite damaging in their own right. Also, Cumberland County, haven't mentioned you much yet. The southwestern corner of Cumberland County in on that warning, and that warning actually extends all the way down into the Dale Hollow Lake area. And the cells that Chris was noting down there over the Cumberland Plateau of Tennessee, if indeed they merge with this cluster of storms over Kentucky, I suspect that merger could happen over southern Cumberland County, very close to, say, the Trooper Island area, Dale Hollow Lake area in a short while. So that's another reason why I don't want to write off at least an isolated tornado threat, chaotic wind involved with things like that. So just things to keep in mind here down the road, especially if you live in Tompkinsville, Gamale, over toward Burkesville, and even into Clinton County. Clinton County okay for now, but I think the storms could affect you within the next 30 to 45 minutes or so, as they are at about 40 miles an hour. All right, getting now to the top of the hour here. You're watching live severe weather coverage. Chris Allen, Shane Holliday, the First Alert Storm Center. We have been noting a tornado warning now for parts of Barron, Monroe, and Allen County that is getting ready to come down here in just a few seconds. But outside of that, we still have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for sections of Barron, Metcalfe, Monroe, Cumberland, and Allen County around that tornado warned area until 2:30.
The tornado warning for Allen, Barron, and Monroe has now come down.
Okay.
The only thing that's up right now is that current severe thunderstorm warning for that same area until 2:30. So what they're doing is the tornadic, or at least the rotational part of that storm that prompted the tornado warning, no confirmed tornado out of that, is now downgraded to a severe thunderstorm warning. But still, as you said, Shane, expect the real possibility of damaging straight line winds, and of course the horizontal blinding rainfall that's coming out of this. And there you see in that storm as it now moves into Fountain Run, just south of the Tracy community. It's now leaving that southern edge of Barron River Lake and moving toward the Tompkinsville area. So if you're in Tompkinsville, brace yourself, because that is a storm that's getting ready to hit you pretty hard with blinding rains in the city of Tompkinsville.
Right, and that's what we're going to be watching very intently here over the next little while. With the tornado warning having expired now and no report of any significant damage out of that, we're going to get ready to go back to regular programming on WBKO ABC, but of course with the caveat that if we do get another tornado warning or reports of significant damage, we will jump back in with further information on that. And of course, keep track of us online through WBKO.com and through the app, the weather app. If you've not downloaded our new app, please do so, because we will keep you updated there frequently in stormy situations like we did. For now, we'll go back to regular programming on WBKO ABC.
Hi.
Hey there, Harry.
How are you? What's your name?
Bethany Douglas. So great. Thanks. How are you?